Well, good morning, and welcome to Let's Play, where we play games in my Steam and GOG library. And today we are continuing our look at Bellular Games' The Pale Beyond. We are in week 3, and we're running a little low on food, so I'm hoping there's more in that pantry. If not, we're in trouble. It is -8 Celsius. That is pretty cold. So anything here we need to see? Nope. Okay, upstairs we go. Enter the forecastle. You scratch its head. You pat its back. You rub its belly. Oh, you get to pet the dogs. That's nice. And it looks like it's time to take some more requests. Captain Hunt appears to be absent. His chair is unoccupied. Wait for Captain Hunt. The whole room shudders. Oh, what was that? That does not sound good. Examine the problem. What in the... Well, I was worried about this. Look at that ice. We could be trapped for a while. Strong pressures. As if we didn't have enough bother. Well, no need mucking around. Let's get to work. Where's Hunt? I'll grab him. I'm sure he felt it too. Shaw, check the boiler room. I'm sure the mole man has problems of his own. Not to worry, everyone. We'll be free and moving again before you know it. Back to work. Officer Shaw, what happened? Ship's coming to a stop. I almost flung my camera into the wall. We didn't hit anything, did we? We're trapped in some ice. We'll need to break loose to get moving again. Well, let's hope we can do that sooner rather than later. Trapped in the ice, though, that would make for a good photograph. Darn it, I should have asked her she knew where the captain was. Down to the lower deck. Pumps. Nothing here. Nobody in here right now. Grimly. Ship stuck then? If you're looking for Hunt, you just missed him. Have you checked the boiler room? Not yet. Hammond's probably pissed off, I imagine. I'm going to check with my brother. Coal bunker. 1 sack of coal. Enter the boiler room. Approach the 2 men. If I'd made errors, I'd tell you. It's secured, don't you worry. They notice you. Impressive machine, this boiler. She'll keep us steady, no doubt. Be grateful we have it. I am ensuring that the boiler was not damaged in the sudden commotion, and I told you that if it was, you'd already know. I'm not in the business of making mistakes. I know that if the furnace goes, we go down with it. Yes, but you're only 1 man, with just a pair of engineers as assistants. Just looking at the number of valves, this seems far too much for you to handle. Maybe your bloody benefactor should have considered that. I've gotten used to it by now. It will hold, trust me. I will. Well, I will have to, won't I? I don't fancy staying on the ship any longer than necessary. It's imperative we break free from the ice as quick as possible. Hammond eyes you, a grimace on his face. First mate's here, but where's the one who's got us into this bloody mess? I was hoping that Templeton knew. I was informed by one of the Stokes that I had just missed him. But I have a suspicion as to where he may be now. We're on a ship. an unmoving one at that. The man cannot simply disappear. If he's anywhere, he must be in his cabin. When you find the man, give him an earful on my behalf. Can't do it myself, too busy keeping us alive. Templeton gives a nod. I believe you and I both owe our good captain a visit, Shaw. But you should call the crew for dinner first. Routine is important, especially now. Not before we fed this furnace. Mind grabbing some coal from the bunker, Shaw? Or are you afraid of dirty hands like Mr. Templeton over here? Huh. Okay, so stopping to get the coal was a good thing because we got to feed the furnace. You emerge mid-deck to find the crew readying themselves for dinner despite the ice. Some seem nervous, others as if nothing changed. Tinned food. You lift a crate of tins from the shelf. Feed the hoosh pot. Best make use of this kitchen while we can. I don't know if that's going to be enough. The crew have their meal. The dinner is shared. The crew return to their post. The hammocks are unfurled in preparation for the evening. You can't help but notice that it's still bright light outside. You didn't see him either. He didn't pass by, but his cabin door was locked when I checked. Slippery. What are you thinking, Hunt? No sign of Hunt, I take it. Mr. Templeton passed by, but he wasn't exactly willing to take questions. Kurt. One would think Hunt would be taking action at a time like this. Instead, the man has scrawled himself within his office, an odd one. You nod knowingly at it. It offers you its paw. You stroke its head. Keep it up, lads. We'll set ourselves right in no time. Ah, Shaw. I just saw Templeton entering the captain's cabin. Seems Hunt holed himself up inside. Maybe if you had a word with our good captain, he'd be willing to lend a hand. Huh. I was informed that he was here. Where could he have hidden himself? He has to be in here. Check under his desk. I highly doubt he's cowering beneath the table, Shaw. Har! The captain's laugh rings out from behind the door. The captain watches you both, his head swaying as he chuckles to himself. You are a surprisingly difficult man to get a hold of, Hunt. Seeing that this is your ship. I know it well. Hunt's eyes turn to you. I believe you two are already acquainted. How long have you been drinking? I don't suppose you care to join? Hunt shakes his hip flask as he holds it out, whiskey sloshing and spilling from the top. And what of you, Shaw? I can't tempt you with some sweet nectar. I'm fine. You'll be more than fine with a drink, can you? Ah, well, your loss. You intend to offer drinks at a time like this. This ship, your ship, is trapped in the ice. It's my ship now, is it? And what do you expect me to do? Get the shovels out? What do you mean? This isn't your ship? Bought it at an auction. Not by myself. Imagine that. Captain of a private vessel and I don't even own it. Pathetic. Mr. Hunt. Captain. If you are not fit to stand, then you should retire for the night. Shaw will stand in your stead, and we can continue in the morning. And abandon my duty? No captain who would do that is a fit captain, wouldn't you agree? Well, not you. Shaw, isn't that right? What do you think makes for a good leader? Making the difficult choices nobody else wants to make. Do you think you could live with yourself? They all act like the choice is the difficult part. The choice is easy, Shaw, instinctual. It's not being able to sleep after. That's what they never prepare you for. But I'm serious, Shaw. To you, what makes a good leader? We don't have time for... In a word, then, what makes a good leader? Willpower. Willpower? Explain. The ability to press forward no matter the circumstances, to never give up. And if your crew submits before you do, I don't think they'd appreciate being pushed forward in a hopeless situation. You can look to someone always pressing on against all odds and call that bravery. Others would call it fatal stubbornness. If one's to die, they'd prefer it be with their boots off, lying in bed with a full belly. Would a good leader deny them that? Speaking in platitudes will do you no good. A good leader is something more than a single rule you were told to follow. When you see one, you just know. You have wasted enough time pining philosophical. Oh, my apologies. I'll ask the real questions. Shaw, look at where we are. Do you honestly think we're going to survive this? I don't know. I expected as much. The captain laughs. Shaw, nobody knows we're out here. That doesn't leave this room. No, wouldn't want to upset your employer. Or benefactor. We all want to be paid after this, don't we? Enough. If you weren't fit to lead this expedition, you should not have agreed to it. You shouldn't be. None of us should be here. Old Kurt paid handsomely to join. You're just a botanist sent to keep an eye on me, our doctor, Har. And then there's me. And myself? You're the only one who should be here. Templeton opens the door. The captain needs his rest. We'll discuss this once he's of sound mind. Let him speak, Templeton. I wish to know more. It's all right, Robin. Go on now, Shaw. I'll be right here. The captain appears to have fallen asleep. Captain Hunt needs his sleep. It would appear the pressures of command have greatly affected him. You should find some rest yourself. The crew have their commands. Clear your head and we will continue on the morn. You tickle behind its ears. You ruffle its fur. I got the feeling petting the dogs would maybe make him feel a little bit better. Okay, nothing new here. I guess we're going back to the room. And wow, that was a pretty intense week. You wake to a room awash with green. There's a loud banging on your door and a familiar voice speaks from behind the wood. Shaw, are you in there? Hammond? What's going on? Why is everything green? Never mind the green. The boiler's in serious trouble. Pumps need manned and we need to stop the whole system overheating. And I don't need to tell you, if the furnace goes, we go. Lead the way then, we don't have a moment to spare. Right, let's move. We need to find the captain, now. Kasha rushes up, holding her camera tight as the ship rumbles. What's happening? Are we going under? Not if we can help it. Out of the way. It's safe to go up top, right? That aurora, it's a shot I can't miss. Kasha steps back before snapping a photograph of the ensuing chaos. The lights of the aurora flicker over the pale ice. Nothing. Visibly perturbed, he takes a moment to compose himself. Even the tub is empty. Why would you expect him to be in the tub? Not important. This doesn't make sense. The man seemed barely fit to crawl himself into bed earlier. What? Hammond turns to you. All right, Shaw. Captain's missing. You're in charge. We can't give up on Hunt that easily. I bloody well care. He missed his chance to take the reins. Yes, indeed. The crew are no doubt waking at this moment. They're no doubt scared, confused. It's your duty to keep them calm, to maintain order. Hammond glares at Templeton. It's Shaw's job to get down to the boiler room now. We've already wasted enough time looking for him. If you storm down to that room, all you'll be doing is inciting panic. We need to calm the fears of the crew, maintain an air of focus. Lie to them as the ship goes down? Not at all. Instead, to assure them we know how to remedy this matter. You do know how to remedy this matter, Mr. Hammond? And we need to be quick. I don't have time to worry about some stupid sailor's feelings. We've got a bloody ship to save. Well, it's as you said. Officer Shaw is in charge. The decision is yours. Calm the crew or man the boiler. Man the boiler. Hammond's right. We can't waste any more time. The boiler won't wait for us. Fine. I will keep the crew at bay then. Mon, don't worry about him. Let's go. As more of the crew notice you and Hammond descending below, the whispers begin. Soon the crew pick up the pace, walking directionless with hurried footsteps. Kurt approaches. Boiler trouble, I take it? I'll lend a hand. Not when you're walking with that cane, you're not. I have enough strength to go tell the crew to hit the lower decks, as many as possible. Let's go, Shaw. Time to save this blasted ship. You descend the ladder. Ahead you can see the brothers trying to open the door to the hold. Trying to get in, same, door stuck. Pull harder, we need to get in there. Can you help us? The metal door unsticks. Grimly looks to you before darting off into the dark. Where's the bloody idiot running off to? To sound the alarm. Bloody hells. Let's get moving. You enter the boiler room. As you enter, Hammond's engineering team are hard at work. The larger of the two engineers loses grip of their valve as steam begins to shoot out, causing Hammond to dash forward. Watch it! Hammond tackles the engineer to the ground, saving him from a nasty steam burn. Made it just in time. What's the word, Chief? Keep those valves pumping. We need to avoid a water hammer or we won't be making it off the ship. Shaw, the rest of the crew aren't here. Grab a valve and start turning. You grab a valve and begin turning, trying all you can to keep the water at bay. Pump! You feel the ache in your muscles as you continue to push the valve, keeping the pressure at bay. The furnace rumbles and sputters, hemorrhaging fuel. You keep turning, doing the best you can to keep the pressure at bay. We could be at this for hours. Where's the rest of the crew? Brought help. Furnace rumbles and sputters. Get me coal and turn those valves. Manpower. Who can get me the coal? Anybody can get me the coal, right? They grab the valve. All right. Coal bunker. I grab the sack of coal. Let's get it back to the boiler room. Skylar. And they grab the valve. With enough hands working on the boiler, you begin to fight back the potential water hammer. Someone's going to have to hold the furnace in place. Am I in this list of people? 2 Johns. 2 Johns approaches the furnace. The room shakes. Water hammer. A jet of steam paints John. It subsides as they writhe in agony. You keep up the work. Shifting the valves until the boiler has fully calmed. The ship is saved. You won't be sinking today. As the crew give assistance to the wounded John, you feel your muscles tense. You fall back, collapsing from exhaustion. As you lay back, all you can hear are a pair of panicked voices. Where is Captain Hunt? He's gone. The Temperance is saved from sinking. The aurora passes, leaving only the bright light in white. Wow, that was an actually intense week. You're alone in the captain's cabin. Out across the deck can be heard the commotion of the crew. Word has spread quickly that Captain Hunt is missing. Templeton slips in through the door. Shaw. Still no sign of Hunt. I'm afraid not. Hunt is still missing. Rufus Hunt is missing. And he isn't alone in that regard. Sanders, Sparrow, and Grin are also unaccounted for. Killian Sanders is missing. Amelia Sparrow is missing. Joseph Grin is missing. As is a sizable food and fuel supply and one of the larger lifeboats. Shaw, you and I are not naive. It seems quite clear what has happened here. How is the rest of the crew? They're confused, scared. The former captain is no longer with us. You understand what that means, Shaw. I would care for you to enlighten me. As new captain must be selected by the crew. As first mate, you have the most clear argument to take that role. I would have expected the role to be inherited. Not quite. They will hold a vote as soon as possible. The carpenter, grimly, he's still loyal to Hunt, and many of the sailors will follow his vote, if not at all. Though I can assure you, have the vote of myself and my scientist. Kurt and his crew are like to support you as well. I'm unsure whether the engineers will side. They'll likely loyal to their pay. John is still recovering from their steam burns, which may end up working to our favor. And the civilians are a mystery. But I believe when all is said and done, you will just about make the vote. You have clearly given this a lot of thought. Of course. It is vital to remain aware of the crew's intentions. They're waiting outside, Shaw. They're scared. They don't know where to turn. You and I both understand the importance of maintaining decorum. Though times seem dire, remember, there is a rescue ship on its way. Even if the Temperance fails, we still have a potential escape. 35 weeks. The ship will arrive at Viscount Island in 35 weeks from now. We should focus on surviving that long. That is all we need to do, Captain. How can we be certain the rescue ship will come? I can assure it. Our benefactor will ensure it. Another 35 weeks, Captain. Keep it in mind. Here, you should have this. Templeton presents you with a fancy-looking hat. A Hunt's hat. He left it behind in his cabin. That tells us what we need, doesn't it? I won't be needing that. Very well. The commotion outside grows. I choose to willfully observe reality. I suggest you do the same, Captain. The scientist refrains for a moment. Wait for him to continue. I think it's best we declare that the captain and the crew are dead. There's no need for us to complicate things any further. I won't lie to them, Templeton. Leaders lie. Get used to it. The crew are waiting for you on deck. Address the crew. The hushed voices become more distinct as you make your way back out into the open air. You notice the absence of John. The crew members notice you and stop. Their attention ripples across the deck. Attention! It should be clear by now that Captain Hunt is no longer serving his post. As such, we should vote in the new captain. I nominate Officer Shaw for the role. The clear choice is first mate. And what of Hunt? I do not see him among us, do you? Don't see a body either. He's still out there. We don't know what happened. Something we can discover. For now, someone has to take reins of command. All in favor of Officer Shaw? Start the voting process. You have been confirmed as captain of the expedition. Well, the ayes have it. Shaw shall be acting captain from this point forward, acting in Captain Hunt's stead. The crowd looks to you expectantly as Templeton gives you a knowing nod. A moment passes in the cold as they await your next words, curious murmurings scattering between the crew. Wait for them to quieten down. As they look to you, it's not long before the obvious question spills from a crew member's mouth. Where is Captain Hunt? It is unclear at the moment. Captain Hunt is dead. The crew immediately cuts to silence. They look to Templeton, some back to you. He and the missing crew were lost. Last night, along with one of the ship's lifeboats, we have no bodies. A silence hangs in the air. I know you're all scared. To be honest, I'm scared too. The crowd begins to bubble up once more, with more and more questions coming to the surface. Members of the crew start speaking out one by one, with questions thrown your way in quick succession. How are we supposed to survive out here? Is help coming? What about our pay? Will we still be paid? We'll have to rely on each other out here. We can't afford to stand at each other's throats. Divided, we are weak, but together we are stronger than the elements. I know this isn't what we signed up for. Stick with me and I will see us through. What of the lost captain? A service will be held once the ship is freed from the ice. Understood? Well, you heard the captain. Get to it. The crowd dissipates, returning to their role aboard the ship. You pass Templeton. He nods. Nod back. Shaw, or should I say Captain Shaw, that Hunt. I hope he and the others are holding safe. Still, no good dwelling. I have confidence you'll take up the mantle well. The crew are counting on me. I don't intend to disappoint. That's the spirit. We need some optimism at a time like this. If the captain has faith, so too will the crew. You bark back at it? Cute. I suppose congratulations are in order? I would hope you're prepared. I would hope you're prepared for the task at hand, Captain Shaw. Did you see Hunt last night? If I had, I would have said as much. Though were I to wager, I'm certain that someone aboard this ship has. It's unlikely the four were able to leave a landlocked ship without being spotted. What will it be this week, Shaw? Got anything for the hoosh? I don't know what that room is. That's a new room, the red room. Grab that. Are you just going to keep standing there or give us something to burn? Feed the furnace. Captain, now are you? As long as you aren't in my way any more than Hunt was, I'm happy. How's the boiler keeping? Well, we aren't dying. That's a relief. Don't know how well the furnace will hold. I'll keep her going as long as you aren't distracting me. There should be no hesitation, Shaw. You're the captain now and you must carry the authority instantly. It's best that we carry out the daily routine as normal. Show that you're capable in the role. We should take the day's request immediately before seeing to our resources. Oh, so I was supposed to come in here. You saw the duties of the captain firsthand while serving, Hunt. You're acting captain now. It's time you take up that mantle. A line is already forming at the door. No surprise given the circumstances. Take them as you may, Captain. Captain, I brought the kennel master with me. This is something you will both want to hear. I have a strong suspicion on what this matter is. I was planning to speak with the captain on it myself. Fortunate happenstance, then. Captain, I know these conditions well. I've seen them before. Any idea of the Temperance being freed of the ice anytime soon is a pipe dream. We need to press on. We need to become aware of our new environment. Trust me, Captain, we will be living off it for quite some time. And what of you, Cardell? Do you agree? Indeed. The dog sleds will need to be exercised regularly, and there is no better way than to engage in hunting. We're quite lucky despite the circumstances. Now's the peak time for hunting and navigation. And navigation? Traversing the ice may be a possibility in the future. We need to be prepared for that. If we're to survive out here, we need to know what lies ahead. These are uncharted territories, Captain. We have no idea where we are. Your current rations are not set to last forever either. Send any hunting party to me as you please. My dogs and I will ensure their survival. Cordell exits. The same sentiment for myself and any scouting teams. If you wish the great unknowns to be braved and charted, I'm your man. We need to know what lies ahead. Keep looking forward. Saving that boiler was only the start of our troubles. Have you seen the state of this bloody ship? It has certainly seen better days. She's bleeding in the lower decks. I believe the older stoke is attempting to rectify that. We need stockpile as much fuel as we can. If the furnace runs out by the end of the week, we die. If we spend too long on the ship, we die. If we don't stockpile enough fuel for the winter, we die. Give me some coal, get it in the furnace. I'm afraid he's not wrong. That coal bunker is our only source of fuel for the time being. Until we can procure alternatives, we should assign crew to shoveling whenever possible. Shaw. The ice looks unbudging, doesn't it? It would seem that way, yes. Crew seems to think so. They think if we don't intervene, the Temperance will never get freed. If you're suggesting breaking the ice, I can assure you that won't work. I'm not. They are. No intervention is going to break up the ice fast enough to free this ship. Putting others to work on that is simply a waste of manpower. Maybe. They're scared, though. Worried. They just want to feel like they tried something. If it will raise spirits, it's worth the attempt. We'll send Skylar. Vern. We'll send Rafe. Agreed. Lost Richard Templeton's loyalty, huh? I'll see you for dinner, Shaw. Don't forget the hooch pot needs fed. Before dinner, you should see to sending our first sledding team. I also believe it's time you gave our good doctor a visit. We'll still have wounded from the night of the Aurora. Their wounds will need attended before they're fit for work. And I doubt I need to remind you this, but we need every hand available. Don't be afraid of assigning my team for some manual labor. They'll complain, but they'll work. Thank you, Templeton. You did seem familiar. I finally placed you. You have you? Yes, I remember seeing you compete. Soren Kiliper, you were quite the gymnast. I'm surprised to see you in this line of work. Not too many gymnasts carry long careers. You did quite well when I saw you at the summer games. I recall you placed. I don't recall winning. Which way are we scouting? Let's go this way. Let's send Yorick. Shaw, or should I say Captain, right? I thought your name sounded familiar. I sailed the merchant lines as well. Think we served on the same ship a couple of times. Good to see a fellow merchant Navy veteran among the crew. You know the struggles well, huh? Shame we never fully crossed paths. Still, small world. Good luck, Shaw. Doctor's office. You enter the ship's infirmary. Your presence seems to startle the young man inside, the rattle of dropped forceps ringing through the room. Oh goodness, it's you. Captain now, isn't it? Captain Robin Shaw. It's good to meet you. Dr. Arthur, Nutley. Dr. Nutley. Dr. Arthur Nutley, that's it. It's good to meet you, Arthur. Nutley gives a weak smile. Thank you. It's good to properly meet you. I suppose I seem a little scatterbrained at the moment. It isn't the norm. Recent circumstances have been trying, and the inclination towards seasickness is no help. John, the steam burns they suffered from the furnace are severe. If you let me take a look, I could do my best to alleviate their pain. Is there nothing more you can do? I'm trying. I wish there was, but there's no cure for these kinds of energies. I'm afraid that is the extent. At this point, all we can do is wait. Captain Hunt, do you think he may still be out there? There's a chance, however slim. Right. Perhaps we'll run into him again? No, that's ridiculous. Never mind. Apologies, I'm rambling. I suppose you wanted an update on the crew. They seem to be faring well, all things considered. I suppose you could say that. Mostly scraps and scuffs. As for the dogs, you're better asking, well, the kennel master. You mean Cardell? Yes, Cardell. I haven't taken well to the dogs. I'm unsure how to carry myself amidst most people, and animals are more quick to judge. And Cardell herself is harsher still. But you can rely on me for any human medical issues. Nutley pauses for a moment. Is everything, good? I mean, is something coming to rescue us? I won't lie, we're in a difficult situation here. I'm going to need your help. Ah, well, I got his loyalty back. Then you can count on my help. Nutley keeps his head low. Is there anything I can do for the crew? So, I can ask scientists to cook up medical comforts or use medical comforts to cure all crew in Medbay. I won't be able to do that. It seems we've run out of medical comforts. Is there anything else I can do? Ask scientists to cook up comforts. Let's go with Harriet Glossley. Oh, I guess we need all of them? Okay. If you can give me these, I could get the crew back on their feet. Is there anything I can do for the crew? Okay. Oh, after one are assigned to Medbay, they will be cured. Okay. Leap. That still did not solve our problem? Oh, okay. Officer, Captain Shaw, I suppose I should get used to calling you that. I was asking the crew if anyone had seen Hunt or any of the deserters last night. Not a soul. I know the man knows this ship well, but that seems odd. Do you think the crew could be lying? I wouldn't accuse anyone of that, but it is very unlikely that he wasn't seen by anyone. I suppose the boiler troubles caused a great deal of distraction. Oh, I guess I assigned somebody to do this, huh? Okay. Well, I mean, it's good to assign people that are loyal to Junior. Actually, we're going to Runts Da. Confirm. All right. They get to work. And we do not want to give that medical comforts to the hoosh pot, so feed the hoosh pot. Call the crew for dinner. The crew had their meal. Har, shall we give a toast to our new captain? Hear, hear. The crew returned to their posts. The hammocks are unfurled in preparation for the evening. Despite the time, it's still light outside. So tired. You'll get used to it, lad. That's far too much work. Thought you wanted the work. If I can do it with one arm, you can do it. You're always saying that, Da. Looks like we'll be trapped here for a while. I don't like the ship's chances either. Will be some time before we see home. I'm going to die of boredom out here before the cold takes me. You'll manage, I'm sure. Did you need me for something? Crew seems to like you. Wondered if you had any advice on staying on their good side. Junior's better with people. I don't know. Be good to them. That's all it takes. Evening, Shaw. I'm proud of what I've been able to cook up for the crew lately, considering the rations. Though I do wish I had something better to work with. I'd kill for a good beefsteak. You do excellent work, Junior. You have a knack for this. I've been told. Hunt would say he couldn't eat a bite that wasn't prepared by me anymore. Enter Templeton's room. Good evening, Captain. It will be some time before we see rescue. Perhaps you should be endearing yourself to the crew. For now, I'd like to learn more of you. You needn't do that. I would prefer to continue with our work. Fostering personal relationship is not a concern. Okay. He's a tough one. Evening, Shaw. Cold one, isn't it? I used to think I was growing used to the cold, but as the years have gone on, the elements have only grown harsher on the body. Sure you can handle it, Kurt? And you'd be right. I can still complain every now and then. Thank you, Captain. They will be ready to work again starting today. Is there anything I can do for the crew? Oh, that's it for the moment. And we're still missing something. What are we missing? Okay. Awfully loud, aren't they? I don't mind it all that much. They've worked hard all day. They're owed their leisure. Those sailors ought to remember we all need our sleep. Captain Shaw, I presume you're here to see the dogs? Yes, how are they faring? They have already acclimated. Though recently they've been exhausted and in need of rest, it's no surprise our condition keeps changing. They grow used to one state before being thrust into another. One refuses to eat and has been losing weight rapidly. I assume the change in scenery has affected it. They need their rest, just as any person. They tend to be more reliable, however. So you prefer dogs to people? Is that unusual? I suppose it is in a way, though I cannot be blamed for that judgment, surely. Captain Shaw, you recall my conditions with Hunt, do you not? Like it was yesterday. My demand was that I work here, with the dogs. Your people may help with the sleds, but they are not my responsibility. They are not my people. I'm holding up to my promise with Hunt. I do not intend to join your crew. Pat, Stanberry, and leave. The dog arfs happily as you ruffle its ears. The animal looks at you. You ruffle their head. Finally, we got our notice that we're done for the week. Anything else in here? Nope. Okay. Wow. That was rough. Crew member will be cured of their malnourishment. Crew member will be cured of their freezing. All right. The dogs are rested and available to be sent out. Another week on the ice the ship holds, barely. Okay, so yikes. I don't know if we're doing all that good, but it's definitely a very intense game. And kudos to Bellular Games for this, because the graphics are great, the story is great, and yeah, we'll see where we head off to next time. But until then, bye for now.